Hey, this is Steve from myothercareer.wordpress.com, and it is about 7 o'clock, Tuesday, March 29th, and I'm headed to the Cobb Performing Arts Center to catch Kevin Smith's Red State. I wrote about this a couple weeks ago on the blog when I bought tickets. For those who don't know, Kevin Smith, like him or hate him, is trying something new with distributing his newest movie, Red State, which is a horror movie that casts a church, kind of like the Westboro Baptist Church. That's the church that protests all the soldiers' funerals and stuff, and always shows up anytime there's any natural disaster, blaming it on homosexuals and God knows what else. But at any rate, so the story is basically a church of crazies like that I guess kidnap somebody and murder them or whatever. Anyways, they're the bad guys. Regardless of what it's about, Smith is trying a new way of marketing his film, and he's trying to do it without studio help. So what he decided, at least how he explained it at Sundance, and I'll take him at his word, is to rent out theaters in large cities, non-traditional movie theaters, and on kind of off cheap nights, and sell tickets for the film and a question and answer session afterwards. And based on those sales, hopefully make enough money or close to enough money to pay back his investors, and then use that to distribute the film nationally. I'm kind of foggy on what he's going to do after making his money back, but I have the video up on the blog if you're interested. I linked to a YouTube video from the announcement he made at Sundance after the screening. So I'm interested in this. I can afford to pay extra to go to something like this. I got a good job, so I've not been a huge fan of his work lately, but a lot of Kevin Smith's films in the late '90s and really the early 2000s is stuff that I really enjoyed. Mallrats was the first film of his I saw, and it clicked with me because I was like 15 or 16, and I was kind of coming out of that comic book age into the young adult age, so I could really relate. I was hanging out at the malls with my friends, picking up chicks buying clothes. It really clicked with me, and I enjoyed it, and then got into his other films like Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, etc. Chasing Amy. But I thought this was interesting. I definitely have seen nothing but great things out of his Q&As. He's, honest, and it's always entertaining. He's a funny guy, and he's just an interesting person to listen to, whether you agree with all of his viewpoints or not. So, I managed to pick up a single-seat ticket about 10 to 15 rows back, a day or two after they went on sale, and I'm pretty excited about tonight. It should be a lot of fun. I've never paid, this much for a movie ticket before, but, I've never been to an experience like this either, where I'm going to be around other people who, if they don't enjoy his movies now, have enjoyed Kevin Smith's movies at some point. And, everybody there knows what they're going into. You'll be with, an audience of fellow fans, and, I think that'll be a pretty cool experience. So, I decided to pony up the dough and go check it out. I'll have a review of the movie up. I'm not going to get it done tonight. The movie starts at 8. I probably won't get out of there until around 11. Probably runs about 90 minutes, 100 minutes or so. Q&A I expect to answer lasts anywhere from a half hour to an hour. Maybe longer, who knows. But I'll do a review tomorrow of the film, give my thoughts on it. It should be interesting. I'm not a big horror movie fan, so I don't think he's done anything like this yet. So it'll be an interesting experience to not only sit through a horror movie in the theater, which I've never done, and do a horror movie that Kevin Smith, his first horror film. So I'm just looking forward to it. It's a unique experience. So, like I said, I'll have a review up, and I'll post that. Maybe I'll do a video review. I don't know, but I'll do that tomorrow. And if you get a chance to go to a special screening and you can afford to go, I encourage people to do that. I'm on the AMC Movie Watchers mailing list, and I get a chance to check out movies that came out a while ago. They just redid, I've seen Airplane in the theater, 16 Candles recently. They just did Taxi Driver, and unfortunately I was out of town, so I was bummed I missed that. But I had actually bought a ticket to go to a screening of Memento a couple weeks ago here in Atlanta with a taped Q&A, but a Q&A nonetheless with Christopher Nolan. There's just some really cool experiences you get to do. And if you can afford it, it's good to patronize that kind of stuff. Because there's something to be said about watching a movie with movie fans, outside of a regular theater, a special theater, a specialized theater. And some cities are lucky, New York and LA especially, and Austin, that have more, or San Francisco, that have more art scenes. But for those of us that don't live in cities that are lucky enough to have something like that, Atlanta's a pretty big city, and there isn't a whole lot of stuff like this that happens. So when it does, I take advantage of it. So, all right, I'm going to cut it short. I'm rambling. Until next time, this is Steve from myothercareer.wordpress.com. Keep writing.